Hello, I'm John Proxy on the channel John of the West, and I'm about to begin Rule of Rose Adventure. Now, this is an emulation. I've managed to get it to work on widescreen. It's a game that was on the PS2 that wasn't even available in the UK for reasons, which I guess I'll explain, but we're going to get a cutscene of sorts, so I'm going to be quiet during this cutscene. Let it play out. Wearing the right colour. The dog. Just going to adjust my mic, so there might be a bit of a clunk. UFO then. I understand this to be
where is my shame
survival horror.
When I call your name, so please don't set me free. I'm as heavy as can be. I will do you harm. I will break my arm. I'm a victim of your charm. I want to be dead when I'm in bed. I can be so mean, you can't beat me. I would like to shame you, I would like to blame you, just because of my love to you. And love itself is just a princess as brothers in name. I know nothing can drive it away. But love itself just a dream.
That's a flying fish.
My name is Joshua. I will serve you, princess. Just kiss me, please.
So, I assume this is the end of the cutscene, which was a little longer than I was expecting, I won't lie. Before we start proper, I'll say I know very little about this game going in. It was recommended to me by a friend. And I know of the controversy, which, to be honest, if it was released nowadays, I'm pretty sure people wouldn't even notice. But you may have gotten a sense of a theme during that. I don't know what that's called. Well, an introduction video, I guess. But yes, I'm using an emulator. It's not even available in the UK. I've managed to get it working widescreen. I think I mentioned that. And I'm running on 3 times resolution, or at the very least I will be when I press F9. So let's press the start button. Begin a proper. So yes, when I say controversial, I mean in that it's about schoolgirls. But like nowadays, Japan and schoolgirls is kind of synonymous. But I'm pretty sure it's telling a serious story. We'll see. Let's press F9 again. I don't know if there's any more cutscenes.
Once upon a time, there was a precious little girl. Her friend, the princess of the Red Rose,
was always at her side. Then one day, her mummy and daddy died suddenly, and the poor little girl was sent away to a strange house.
Ah. I mean, we saw somebody killed with hammers, didn't we? I'm trying not to talk during these cutscenes.
Jennifer, play with me, Jennifer. Read the story. Please read the story. What happens next?
Title the episode.
What's this?
Think about half an hour per episode.
Wait! Please.
I think it's remarkable I've got it working so well, but yes, the sound is a bit...
Where are you going?
That is to say that there's a little bit of slowdown on the sound occasionally. March 1930. The Little Princess. The Little Princess. There we go. In all our glory. Let's now turn it to hardware mode. The Little Princess. Once upon a time there was a precious little girl. Her friend, the Princess of the Red Rose was always at her side. Then one day, her mummy and daddy died suddenly. The princess, too, disappeared, leaving the girl all alone. And the poor little girl was sent away to a strange house. All we have of the stories so far. So yes, there we go, looking a lot better now. Suddenly, the girl was all alone. I'm playing this with an Xbox controller. I love modern technology, I really do. And I've always wanted to look at some of these kind of, I see lost classics. I don't know if it would be regarded a classic, but it is a remnant of a bygone era, which this story presumably is about as well. And so the story begins. Mysterious, unthinkable, filthy tale. However, the young girl, Jennifer, had no choice but to surrender to the unsettling predicament. Oh, what an unlucky girl. So yes, let's see if it's running smoothly. I can play with the resolution. If I press F9, we'll go down to the original resolution. I don't think is necessary, but I am recording at the same time and that will slow things down. I do have some controls. So for one, I can quick save with F1. So if I walk over there, and I quick load with F3, there we go. So I'll make liberal use of that, I imagine, just in case crashes happen. I will try and save and load using the game's internal system though, because I kind of like that more. What else was I going to say? I need more whiteboards, which wasn't what I was going to say, so I could make notes during cutscenes. A couple of things. One, their faces look fantastic. All the people in the cutscene, even in the game, Jennifer here, can't get closer, has a really well made face. I'm trying to think of PS2 games. I guess it feels like it's better than the average a PS2 game when it comes to rendering faces, but maybe I misremembered that. The other thing is, in regards to the theme, I'm kind of biting my tongue, as it were. It was the kind of the rope play where they tied her up, but they tied her up in a way that would be considered erotic. I hate to use that word. I actually taken that literally from an interview I read just a second ago about this game not coming out in the UK, so that's not my word. That's the name. That's the word of the developer. With the kind of red lipstick and the deep curtsy, which is all to do with the theme, right? But we'll let the game play out. Let's not prejudge what the game's about. There is a weathered bench sits near the bus stop. I just realised the cursor is a rose, which is very nice. Bus stop, Rose Garden, orphanage. I used to live around the corner from Rose Garden. A dot on my eye, that's kind of annoying. So, for some reason, my glasses, if it goes pure white, the green screen, which is behind me, cuts in. So I guess I've actually, these are the glasses that are much better than my normal glasses. I think this is the road. Can I run? This appears to be me running. So it's March 30th. We have our Little Princess story. We can also go to File. I don't know what this does. Okay, no, that does that. What's the difference between this and this? Well, we can use it. On what? Okay, so that, for some reason they both do the same thing. And if I look at it, it's going to do the same thing again, isn't it? Oh, hang on. No, it didn't. So I can also press F4. Got to be very careful about this. and it will make things load faster. Storybook, The Little Princess, a mysterious book received from the boy in the white clothes. There we go. So, is there anything else on the screen? No. So this is the menu. That doesn't do anything. None of these buttons do anything. Oh, I have a cower button. Just like in real life. Okay, so we've done a full cycle. I think I spied a road. So, the thing about survival horror games is that the more options you get, the worse the game is. Survival horror games are supposed to be scary, right? I say this having not a massive amount of experience in survival horror, but my feelings are still strong in that regard. I have a little bit, but I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I've properly played it. But if you've got a gun, that takes away from your powerlessness. It's why a lot of these games have like young girls in them. The whole Joss Whedon let's kind of turn that around and make Buffy into a kind of strong thing is born out of the sort of irony, right? That's it's kind of old school now, but the point of it being a young girl in a lot of games and films is that that's a image of somebody who's fragile, but also innocent, which also plays in with other horror things, right? Go back to Halloween, it's the innocent people who survive. As the girl approached the sign, she heard a dog's bark. It sounded strangely familiar to her and beckoned her to come. So, I'm looking at my DVD collection over there. You probably know of a film called... I'm just seeing what's up here. I know I'm ignoring a dog though, but... Left rose. After the sign is broken off. You know what? I'm actually going to go in it. Cabin in the Woods. That's it. You'll know from Cabin in the Woods that, of course, Japanese horror is a very different animal, but it doesn't mean they can't reference Western horror, right? Japan is very, very referential. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the word I want. Hell, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is about an alien, the last surviving alien from a planet who can fly and has superpowers. There's quite a lot of things that are suspiciously familiar. It's a rusted well. Cold air flows from inside it. There's no padlock on the door. However, it's not locked. That's a rickety shed. So if I had the wherewithal, I'd quickly press... Oh, that's a dog collar, isn't it? I'd quickly press F4. But again, only for obnoxiously long loading screens, I think. I don't want to ruin the feel. About saving. You can save your progress by talking to the Bucket Knights, or just using the quick save option you've got now. Located throughout the game. Yes, let's save our game. And I will quick save it as well, which is F1. I wish there was a bit more spread out so I don't accidentally load instead of save. But it is much. This tells me that we're going to be playing this for a while. Survival horrors tend to be reasonably short games though. Which is why I'm going to do, I think, about half an hour per episode, maybe 40 minutes. We'll see how I feel. A slip of paper is tied to the dog collar. It's a slip of paper with boarding pass and a picture of a fish on it. Red crayon aristocrats. Jennifer found boarding pass. The name Brown is on the dog collar. Jennifer found dog collar. And I'm going to save that as well. A strange hill, east. So, the first time I got this working on the emulator, I did run around for a bit to see if it's the sort of thing I'd be willing to play, because, you know, no, John, use your words. Because I wouldn't know if I wanted to play it or not. I wouldn't know if it ran properly. All that sort of thing. But yeah, looks cool. And I'm sort of more interested in it because it's old. Also, there were a bunch of PlayStation 2 games that I never really touched. One, because I didn't have access to them, right? You know, I now have the world of there's my cower button of PlayStation 2 games at my fingertips, but I don't really want to go out my way to get stuff if I can get it without using the emulator. To be honest, setting up a PS2 is a bit of a nightmare nowadays anyway, but with other games, I at least own those games. But as I said before, out the front gate, there was no way of me to play this game. It's not available in the UK. I mean, obviously I can import it, then I'd have to import I'm not doing that. Following the boy up the road, she came upon a huge old mansion. Try not to break tone, John. For some reason, this place seems familiar to the unlucky girl. Did we just take a bus from the place we just left and she's forgotten? There's a little bit of slowdown sometimes. It's just sort of odd because we can just sort of... That's interesting. Are they killing cats? Children with bags over their head are beating something with a stick. The unlucky girl was frightened and backed away from the gate. Oh yeah, I'm getting slow down. I mean, I could just turn it on this mode and I'm sure it'll work fine. Why am I getting slow down? Fence Road. Possibly because I'm recording? I certainly don't want to play in slow motion. No, don't turn fast forward on, John. If you're gonna... That's fine. So the thing about the upped resolution is that it does sort of make it easier for me to see where the edges of where I can walk would be. Back in the day, this probably would have infuriated me not being able to tell where exactly I was walking, but a little bit more clearer now. No one allowed without a pass. But I have one of those. About using items. At certain locations, you can use items to interact with your surroundings from the menu screen. Choose the item and select Use. No one allowed without a pass. So let's have a look at his dog collar as well. An old dog collar with the name Brown on it. Okay, no. Just what it said when I picked it up. Nothing happened. Children are gonna get a slap. Oh, I wasn't expecting that to work. Oh, we saw this before, didn't we? A Legend of a Stray Dog. Stray dog kidnaps kids. Does he now? There's a lot of trash piled up here. Okay, oh cool. I don't think I want to go in yet. Ah, no, cool. On an edge. Gems. I know people like use that word too often now. Oh, I found a gem, a precious gem. But this is what this game sort of feels like. Not a precious gem. I feel like precious gems can't be copied and pasted, but if I know anything about the diamond industry, maybe I'm wrong about that. But I don't know, curiosity. Not yet. Legend of Stray Dog. Stray Dog gives us sweets. Yeah. Stray Dog seems like he's not a trustworthy fellow. So my reaction is because strangers giving children sweets lends itself to a particular stereotype. One that I don't know if actually, presumably that happened, because in the 90s, growing up, like I was told, like not by like people, videos, PSAs, public service announcement, don't go into strangers' vans if they offer you sweets. No strangers ever offered me sweets. I mean, I know that's a good thing, but I mean, statistically, if anything's going to happen to you as a child, it'll be done to you by a member of your family, statistically speaking. But obviously, that sort of stranger danger was big in the 90s. Nowadays, we worry about terrorism. Or, no, I guess that's the past as well. We're not quite past terrorism, but it was bigger 10 years ago. Obviously, it was bigger 10 years ago. What the hell are you talking about? My point is, nowadays, I guess it's more about that left-right divide, isn't it? Let's not talk politics during our game. The point I was bringing up was stranger danger, which is appropriate. Okay, we are back at the gate, aren't we? Yes. This is where they were hitting, well, something. Well, I can't control this camera. It's doing its own thing. I will go in soon. Although we're pretty much at the end of the episode, so I think I might open the door. What I'll try and do is I'll try and get to one of those bucket guards. Entrance this way. And I guess it's pointing the direction. Okay. I really do wish I could run faster, but I appreciate running faster isn't conducive to scary games, but keeping them scary. Running is a form of control. If I can escape everything, then I'm not in danger, right? Empty cages are stacked up. Were animals being kept here? I know there's a door, because when I messed around the first time, I got in there, and that's when I stopped playing. This might be a good time to let you go. Since I'm stuck, it's not even a hurdle. We'll look at the front of the house again. Actually, let's quickly look over there. The other thing I like about old games is it sort of helps remind me that games don't need so many things. You just get used to the shadow being a big square. If I press F9, what does the shadow? The shadow actually works in F9. We have lost that. That looks really good, actually. That's a really good shadow. So we don't get the shadow in hardware mode. So I think I'm happy with a higher resolution though. Why is this not opening? Oh, you're an idiot, John. Some bastard playing violin in here. Now I'm like... Could I have software shadows and hardware everything else? Probably. I'm learning programming, but I suspect I don't know enough about that to fix it. All children's umbrellas are lined up in the umbrella stand. 35 minutes, I think, is the top. Large portrait is on the wall. So if I don't find a bucket man, sharpish. The unlucky girl felt the chilling gaze of many eyes upon her. Yet she was all alone. Right, we found ourselves in the women's lavatory. The window's too dirty to see through. I think I'm going to let you go. Because who knows how long it will take me to find a save point. I'll record an episode right immediately after this anyway. Okay, she has nothing to say about that scrawling on the wall. There's a rose there and a bird. Many bulging sacks are piled up in a heap. It smells awful. What's wrong with these children? Right. Oh, I'll quickly... Oh, bucket man! There we go. There's a rubbish bin tied tightly with rope. Kids are notoriously great at tying rope. Let's save our game. I've been John Proxy on channel John West. I've been having a Rule of Rose adventure. Let's use my quick save as well. I'll see you guys next time.